Literally, it's like the kitchen should, like, who invented that?
Who called it the kitchen?
Sports fans and fans of Sportsnaut. Welcome back for another episode of Tier Talk. I'm Connor, this is Dawson, and today we're going to be ranking sports. Shall we begin?
Let's begin.
We're going to begin. Here we go.
Up first. Football. American
football. What's wrong with that?
Nothing better than football.
Nothing screams like watching a game, like the quote, watching a game, like watching a football game. The game is on. I'm good. I can't go to the farmer's market on this Sunday. The game is on. What game do you have to ask?
Super Bowl Sunday, America just stops for it.
Oh my goodness. I mean, American football is so good, and the rest of the world is catching on. Like, you see games being played in, like, Germany and the UK.
Brazil.
No, like, yeah, exactly. No one's going to knock it anymore like they used to.
Yeah, soccer might just become just soccer because football is going to go worldwide, and football is going to have to change its name.
I am team, it's called soccer.
It is called soccer.
American football.
Fun to play.
Amazing sport
Great
to play.
watch.
Better to watch. Oh,
for me, absolutely.
You're not. Yeah.
As an Eagles fan, playing and watching is equally upsetting.
But still, I would rate it high.
I think this is an S. It just has to be.
It's an S.
It's my favorite.
S for football. S for football. Play backyard football. Watch some football. It doesn't matter.
S off rip.
S off rip.
Badminton.
Honestly, like, the sport to play is fun. But I'm going to say this. Athleticism down. Watching down.
Yeah,
There's some
athleticism.
There's skill.
There is, but it's more of like a
skill you can pick up on.
It's more of like a cookout hobby. It's like cornhole.
It's like, oh my gosh, there's a clothesline up. It's kind of convenient to play some badminton. Let's just do it.
Yeah.
I have enough yard space, and there's a clothesline up that's 8 feet high. We can just hit a badminton over the clothesline.
And if you just cook at it, it's kind of embarrassing.
Yeah, if you're good at badminton, it's like, don't date that guy.
Yeah. Imagine introducing like your friend to like other friends. You're like, he's a good guy. He's really, really good at badminton. It's like,
dude, if I met a girl,
keep him away.
If I met a girl good at badminton, I feel like I would just be like, yeah, keep her.
Your girlfriend's like, you're gonna love my brother. He's so good at badminton.
I'm gonna hate your brother too. Promise.
But it's not that bad. I think this is a D.
It involves some skill, but athleticism, not that needed. Watching it, would I? No.
Is it an F?
We'll go D.
Yeah.
We'll go D.
I don't want to hate on badminton. I think it's fun, but
D for badminton's fine.
Tennis.
Ooh. Do I have some bias here?
Yeah, I love watching tennis. I love playing tennis.
We both love playing tennis. We both love watching tennis. But what I understand, it's not for everyone. It's not for everyone.
It isn't for everybody.
Tennis, I will say, involves some athleticism. Definitely involves skill. What I will knock on it for is watching it. I know we like watching it, but not everyone does.
Yeah, if you're not into it, watching it and trying to keep the score and everything. And
scoring's tough, and they are just hitting a ball back and forth. And the other thing I'm going to say with it is that it is like a classic sport. It's been around for a long time, and it's still popular. So I think that gives it a little bump.
I think this is up there. I don't think it's an S.
No, I would go like, I'm in like a B range for tennis.
Okay.
Tennis is like a great sport. It's not the best sport. Does it get knocked down or up for the fact that you can play it in retirement?
It's true.
You won't play it at a high level, though. So it's not like you...
Yeah, they're switching to pickleball these days.
Yeah. Pickleball is like, kind of showed that tennis is actually, it requires athleticism. So that means I think tennis is a B.
Okay. I was in A range, possibly B. I'll take a B for tennis. B for tennis.
B. Bowling.
The old alleys.
I like to bowl. But am I going to rate it high? I'm going to say this. Probably not.
I will say, love a good trip to the bowling alley. But in my mind, it's like not even a sport.
Love a good turkey.
It's a game.
When I think of bowling, I think about like, oh my gosh, I'm going to get some nachos and hit the arcade.
Yeah, it's like
I don't even think about the bowling part.
It's like a date night.
If I get a strike,
like skee ball.
if I get a strike, I'm like, woo. But if the best bowler in the world gets a strike, they're like, boom.
Yeah, it's like,
and that's the difference. Like I can achieve something that the best bowler in the world could do. Think about it like this. Can Mike Trout hit a home run? Yes. Can I hit a home run in an MLB park? No. Can the best bowler in the world, who I don't know of, can he or she bowl a strike? Yes. Can I bowl a strike? Yes. So to me, it's
a hell
clear.
of an analogy.
So to me, it's clear. This is not that great of a sport. It doesn't take. I know it involves consistency. You need to be able to bowl so many strikes in a row to win, whatever. I don't see the hype to it.
I see it as a game.
I see it as a good hobby.
I always think of like sports aren't sports if there's no defense.
Yeah, there's no defense at all. Like there's no one-on-one interaction. Kind of like golf. But what I will say also is it reminds me of that movie, The Dude Abides.
The Big Lebowski.
The Big Lebowski. And those guys, were they athletic?
They're just going and they're hanging out, smoking stokes.
And that's what it is. So does it get up for that?
Yeah, and therefore it's an S. Bowling on the sports tier list, it's not high for me. Bowling like
as a hangout?
Tomorrow night with a six-pack, I'm so in.
Like I love going to the bowling alley with
great.
my best friends and just hanging out. Do I think of it as a sport? Not really. No.
Yeah.
That's why for this tier list, I'm going to put it at like D.
Yeah, I like it for a D. Like
Right,
comparing bowling to football
Yeah. Yeah, I'm good.
is unfair to bowling.
Bowling is a D. Soccer. Okay, I have mixed opinions on soccer.
I do too. I think it's great. I love watching soccer if I have a reason
love
to.
watching it. I love watching it. I don't think it's that fun to play.
That's true.
I don't know why. Like, it's just a lot of kicking shins and I don't know. Like, the scoring in soccer is, like, great and bad. It's great because when they score, it's really hype. But when there's no scoring, it is so, like, boring. I need, like, some goals. I need something interesting.
A sport that there's a 0-0 draw is just
and
a scam.
and they call it. They don't, like, there's no overtime. It's like, oh, 0-0. I'm good.
Also, what's up with added time? And it's just like when guy blows the whistle, it's over.
Yeah, I just don't like that. He's going down the field. He's going to...
draw.
All right, draw.
It's just like,
I don't
know, maybe our American is showing.
But the sport itself, no one's denying it takes a lot of athleticism.
International.
It's so fun watching the countries play in the World Cup.
World Cup's great.
Yeah, we're going to get hate from one side or the other on this.
I think it's high, but it's not an S for me.
I was thinking B, but I feel like that'll get hate.
You want to go B?
It's just footsie, so in a way. Like, I don't know. It's so fun to watch, though. I get it. And it's height. And it definitely takes athleticism. It's just not for me. So it's not an S, it's a B.
I'll take a B for it.
B for soccer. I'll give it an extra point, though. Because you know what? We're not going to move on for a second. It is international. And you know what? I respect other cultures.
I respect it more than I personally like it.
I do too. I think it's an A.
I also don't like playing it.
I think it's an A.
I like A for soccer.
I like A for soccer as well. All right, A for soccer.
Curling.
People say this is like the hardest sport ever.
I couldn't do it.
I don't.
I mean, maybe I could. I don't get it.
I've never tried it, and I don't think I will.
I've watched it. Honestly, had a good time.
It seems like it'd be very like anxious, like you're on your toes watching it, like oh my gosh, what's gonna happen? But at the same time, I'm bored.
Like that Jans is rolling down the ice real slow, and they're brushing away. It's like, what's gonna happen? Because I have no idea.
I don't understand the brushing. I don't really understand. Like I know what they're trying to do. I don't understand the strategy. I don't understand the strategy behind it at all.
Some poor folk is gonna watch this that's like a professional curler and be like, these guys don't get it, and we don't.
We don't. Maybe I respect it. Maybe I know. Maybe I'm self-aware that I will never be as good as you at curling. But I just don't care. I just don't care. And that's why for me, curling is in the name. It's a C.
C's fine with me.
It's like I respect it enough. It's an Olympic. It's an Olympic sport.
Yeah.
No, though I will say curling is over bowling for me.
It's more of a sport.
Because
there's defense.
You're like like you're going up against people in a different way. Bowling it's just not the same.
You're in a team of 3 and you're out there grinding.
You can bowl like by yourself, and it doesn't matter if there's another person bowling next to you. Curling, it does.
Team of 3, group mentality.
I like curling over bowling. I'll go C for curling.
Brush it away. C for curling.
C for curling. Volleyball. It's a good sport. It's a good sport, and then there's the sport. I would say that
volleyball is a great sport.
What's my knock on it? I'm trying to think. So, I can't say anything that bad about it. It's fun to play, like, just, like, with a group of people. And then, watching it, pretty entertaining.
Pretty entertaining, but not, like, incredibly.
I'm not into it like football. And maybe that's because there's not as much star power in volleyball, where it's like, I don't care about the storyline or this. Like, I don't know. But, entertaining sport, fun to play sport. I'm between like a B or a C on this.
I think this is a C. I have it below tennis.
Oh, I do too. Okay, yeah, you're right. C for volleyball. If we're going off past picks, it's got to be below tennis.
Fun to play, but like in the backyard, just hanging out. Casual sport, but could be highly competitive.
You're right. C.
Versatility.
C for volleyball. Basketball. Basketball is like a top 3 team sport for me. I love watching and playing basketball.
It's the best. All levels.
Yeah. Like watching the pros is fun, but watching like high school or college basketball, very fun as well.
NBA, college, high school, FIBA, Olympics.
Oh, watching the Olympics is fun too. Some people get bored because there's a lot of scoring, but like what's the problem?
I love a good fast-paced game.
I do too. Like football has that as well. It's like even with less scoring, football still has like this fast pace to it. And basketball has that as well.
Yeah, even if it's like a low-scoring game, high-scoring game, it's just possession after possession. S-Pack. Top tier.
Yeah, it's S. There's just nothing wrong with basketball. Great sport that was invented in North America. S.
Lacrosse.
Whatever it is, point down for the haircuts. All the lacrosse boys have mullets, dude.
People that play lacrosse have a stigma to them.
I don't like lacrosse. I'm not a fan.
I think it's pretty impressive.
Oh, that
boys are athletes.
I'm not saying it's not.
It's a sport for men.
It gets physical, but also it gets like rich physical. You know?
It's like
I paid $800 for lessons and the equipment, and that's why we're getting physical.
It's like golf for the fellas with a Planet Fitness membership.
It is golf for the guys that are a little more athletic. Literally.
It's golf for the aggressive guys.
I think lacrosse is like a sport. Like I genuinely will never deny that.
And it's impressive.
It's in a sport. Is it something I want to watch? No. Is it something I want to play? No.
Yeah, no.
Do I want to pick up a lacrosse stick and throw on a mask and play? Never.
They walk around wiggling it.
Yeah, the way they walk, they like run around jiggling, and then you just have to compare a little bit.
It's like physical field hockey to me.
It is. Even though I know it's a real sport, it's just not like...
I respect it. It's bizarre, though.
There's something like unnatural about it, right? Like
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like a natural sport. Basketball and soccer, I'll give soccer this too, feels like a natural sport.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
Just feels like something humans would create. Lacrosse feels like something that's like the rich guy created that wasn't that good at basketball, that wasn't that good at soccer, so he made this complex sport with a stick involved. I don't know. Sometimes sports that involve like equipment, I'll give another sport this knock as well that's coming up, I just don't like as much. Like I'd rather just see you as your person. So for that, I would go C. I don't love it.
As in like masks?
Like the stick to play. Like you can't just play with your hands and feet. Like, because even football, like the equipment is just for protection. It's not like you need a stick to play football.
Tennis,
yeah. That's a little different, though. I don't know how to explain that. It's just different.
Yeah, I think... What did you say, C for lacrosse?
Yeah.
I'm okay with a C. If 3 lacrosse guys show up at our door because this might be the last episode. Good old ice hockey.
Hockey. So this is where I was getting in on lacrosse. Another sport that is extremely impressive. Some say actually it might be one of the hardest sports to play.
Best athletes.
However, there's just something to me about like the natural sports, as in like soccer and basketball and football, where it's like it just involves a ball, and the other equipment that's involved in the sport has nothing to do with like. There's something about the stick I think I'm just not a fan of in sport.
I like watching hockey, and I can't play it. I've never skated before, but
yeah, this is the interesting one about this. We're opposite, because you watch a lot more hockey than I have ever. And I used to play some street hockey in the neighborhood.
There you go.
I used to be on the rollerblades. Did I enjoy it? Yes. Do I like reminisce and think, oh, I miss those days? Not really. I think that it's a very impressive sport, though, because I struggled. Like, having like a stick in your hand while on skates, so hard.
Skill level's crazy.
That's why
And those guys are just tough.
I do respect hockey players as much as any other athlete. I do. Is it just the sport I just don't watch? Yes, that is the answer. I just don't watch it. I don't know.
I would say like basketball, like NBA basketball is the highest of like skill level. Like shot making, dribbling, all of that stuff, highest skill. Hockey is like the most impressive on just like being able to skate that long and figuring it out on ice. I think hockey is an A.
It's like it's two different things, because you have to be a pro skater while also being a pro
fiddler.
Yeah, whatever you want to call it. I agree. Like it's almost like two sports in one. And it's like if you're good at one or the other, you're not good enough. You have to be good at both.
It's crazy.
You have to be good at handling the puck, but you also have to be good at skating and stopping on a dime. And that's just not something anyone can do.
And then going top shelf around somebody.
Yeah, and then it's just also the fighting and...
Yeah, and all of a sudden someone drops the gloves. There's too much going on.
There's so much going on in hockey. It's so impressive. I'm very impressed by the sport. It's not my favorite to watch. And I'll go A.
A for hockey.
What I was trying to get is, it's just not an S for me.
Yeah, it's not an S.
Okay. Pickleball.
Oh, the old pickle.
We just played some pickleball, and I gotta say, it was fun.
It was a good time.
Was it impressive that we played? No.
Not at all, man. Especially the way that we played.
We were terrible. You don't have to move. You just have to have some skill at...
Just like reflexes, I guess. Very small court.
Yeah. I mean, at most, you're taking one step. Like, it doesn't really involve much movement at all. Fun sport to play. Will I play it again? Absolutely, I will. Would I watch it? No. If it was on TV right now, I would never watch pickleball.
Yeah, my honest opinion is this is an F. And my reasoning for that is because bowling is a D, and I'm more impressed by people bowling a perfect game than doing anything on the pickleball court.
I agree. Okay, you know what? When you just sold me, I had it at D. I'll go F.
Yeah, I don't hate pickleball.
I think this is just such a fun game. Should not be considered a sport. As a tennis guy, should not be considered a sport.
No.
There's just no movement or athleticism at all. It's like ping pong.
It feels like every rule. I learned the rules 4 days ago, and I feel like every rule is meant for it to be like limited movement.
Some people will cook me in pickleball, and they can have that. Like, just like ping pong. I was just about to make that point. Like, ping pong, people say is a sport. Like, maybe it is, maybe it isn't. And I would get cooked at ping pong by someone who's pro, obviously. But, like, have it.
Like, as a
I'm
tennis
just not
person,
that
as
impressed.
a tennis person, it's like pickleball is like, don't get too close to the net, because that would be too quick for the defense.
Literally, it's like the kitchen should, like, who invented that?
Who called it the kitchen?
Why is there all these weird rules? The kitchen, you can only get a point when you're serving. All of it
I'm good. Don't need it.
can go. I remember a time when there was no pickleball, and I was fine. It's a new sport, and it can just stay in the 2010s. I don't need it. I just don't.
F.
It's going to blow up so big. We're going to regret this.
It's going to be gigantic.
That's okay. F. F for pickleball. Swimming.
Competitive swimming.
One, I'm not sorry for this. It does take athleticism to be a good swimmer. Michael Phelps would, be, he's just that guy.
He's good at swimming.
He's good at swimming. He would cook me in a swim off. In a swim meet.
Michael Phelps, swim off tomorrow at the Y.
2, swimming is like cool and all, but I don't understand it. Why is it sometimes like use the breaststroke, but then use the reverse,
Backstroke.
then use the like
Butterfly.
I don't like. What is the point of that? Also, what are the penalties if like I'm just like, you know what? I'm faster with the breaststroke. That's what I'm doing.
Sneak one in.
Like, why can't you do that? I don't understand it. I don't understand who invented that rule of like, on this lap you have to do this stroke, on this lap you have to do this stroke. I just don't like it. Also, more boring than tennis. You are literally just swimming back and forth.
It's pretty much like track and field,
But worse.
just in the water.
But worse. I would rather watch a track meet.
Oh, I agree. There's so many different events.
But, okay, so let's think about our list. Like, pickleball, if you're a professional pickleballer, I actually don't really respect you. Because you know what? I could be more athletic than you.
What were you doing before 2019?
Right. But then there's swimming. It's like, if you are a professional swimmer, you are more athletic than me.
You are an athlete.
For sure. So, there's some credibility to this. It's not my sport. I don't find it interesting at all. I respect them.
I'm between a C or a D.
That's kind of where I'm at.
So
Let's
do we
think about-
compare it to...
Like curling, though, it's over curling, right? It has to be at least on the same as curling.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd probably go C here. It's above bowling.
It is. And it's competitive. It's
Yeah,
more competitive. Bowling.
yeah.
C for swimming. C for swimming. Not a bad sport. Cross country.
Worst sport to play ever.
I did it for 3 years. I can confirm, not fun. Every night I went home after cross country practice, I didn't want to wake up the next day. Yeah, imagine having to run around like a high school campus about
Every day.
8 times after school. About, like that on average.
Great for you. Dude,
I was-
imagine watching that.
No, dude, it's not though. Because let me tell you something. When I ran cross country between 7th and 9th grade, I looked like a skeleton. No meat on my bones.
Sounds terrible, and you couldn't pay me to watch a cross country
Dude,
meet.
cross country, not a good sport, and I respect the hell out of it. I did it, but because I did it, I think I have the right to say it's an F.
F.
The whole quote of cross country is like, my sport is your sport's punishment. It's like, well, yeah.
I always thought that. That's what the shirt said in high school.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
You're doing what? Running. Yeah. That's awesome. Guess what? Everyone can run if they train.
My sport is your sport's punishment. Play another sport then.
Do something that involves some skill.
You signed up.
I'm telling you, think of any person in your life. They can start running and train. Like, that does not take skill.
Yeah.
To be a good, like, basketball player, that takes skill. And, like, more than just athleticism and stamina and running, you have to be able to dribble a ball. Baseball.
I love baseball.
I do too. This was my favorite sport growing up. The true American boy. All I loved doing was playing catch with my dad and watching the Phillies for probably 6-7 years.
America's pastime.
I feel like watching baseball did not get old. And when your team that you're watching, that you're passionate about, is good, it's more fun too.
Playoff baseball is fantastic.
It's just like, it keeps you on your toes. Like,
especially when it's
bottom
at
of the
Citizens
ninth.
Bank Park.
yeah, bottom of the ninth, 1-run game. You're just on your toes. Like, it's just one of those
so
sports.
good.
It's kind of like soccer in that sense, where it's like out of nowhere something's gonna happen and everyone can just get hype.
Yeah.
I feel like with basketball and football, it's a little less like that.
Yeah, it's kind of like tennis in that sense where it's like there's no clock. You have to
Baseball
earn the
has no
last
clock.
point, and it's like you have to get the
And
last out.
with soccer, I just compared it. I know soccer has a clock, but like usually games are close where it's like anything can happen here. Like it might be 2-1 with 10 minutes left. It's like anything can happen. But baseball, yeah, no clock. You have to finish out the game if you're up, and if you're down, you don't lose hope because anything can happen. And back to my comparison, baseball players are outstanding athletes. Hitting a ball that goes in 95 miles per hour into somewhere in the strike zone and hitting it, 400, 500 feet in that range, that's impressive.
One of the most impressive things in sports, if not the most.
Right. Where are you at on the grading scale on it?
I've been between A and S.
A and
I'm
S.
leaning A. And I have no idea why.
I can tell you why. Let's talk about the knocks on it for a second here.
It's a little slow.
It's slow.
It's just not football. It's hard for me to put it up with football and basketball.
Basketball and football have a faster pace. You're gonna see a lot more action. Baseball, they say like if it's a 3-hour game, you're getting 17 minutes of action total, and I get where that can lose some people. For what it's worth, baseball's an A. It's so fun.
It's fantastic. It's like an A+. It's just right there. It's just not there.
It's almost S. I don't think we did that bad of this list, but hey, if we did, let us know.
Let us know, as you guys usually do.
As you do.
Thank you for watching another episode of Tier Talk here on Sportsnaut. Make sure to subscribe for new episodes every week. Like this video, comment what to rank next, and check out sportsnaut.com.